So North Korea's state-run news agency reported over the weekend that U.S. President Donald Trump sent North Korean leader Kim Jong-un an excellent letter and that Kim would seriously contemplate the content. The White House confirmed that and said correspondence between the two leaders has been ongoing. What does this exchange mean, especially coming as we kick off an important week of summit diplomacy in this part of the world? Let's get an in-depth analysis. Live on the line for us is Sean King, Senior VP at New York-based Park Strategies and University of Notre Dame Liu Institute for Asia and Asian Affairs Affiliate Scholar. Sean, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, judging from the little we found out about President Trump's letter to Kim Jong-un and his reaction to it, plus the timing of this exchange, 2 days after Chinese President Xi Jinping wrapped up a visit to the North, what are you making out of this? What's the sentiment like in the United States?
Well, Trump is very vulnerable to flattery, and he seems to have responded very well to what he calls Kim's beautiful letter last week. And maybe he was just a little bit jealous seeing his good friend Kim host Xi Jinping in Pyongyang, and he wants back in the game. You know, we can only speculate from afar what's in the letter. I assume there's some talk of a third meeting. When that might happen, I don't know. And perhaps also Trump's offered some kind of middle ground. Instead of complete denuclearization for sanctions relief, maybe partial denuclearization for some sanctions relief, maybe Yongbyon for some kind of sanctions relief. So we really don't know, but obviously Trump wants back in the game and is trying to look to restart things.
Absolutely, and especially seeing China playing a bigger role now in this denuclearization equation. Now, with this exchange of letters and U.S. appointment on North Korea Stephen Biegun due in South Korea in the next 2 days, we kick off a key week in summit diplomacy to end North Korea's nuclear program here. Now, Presidents Xi and Trump are set to discuss their trade war and possibly North Korea at the G20 gathering in Osaka, Japan this weekend. South Korean President Moon Jae-in is also scheduled to sit down with President Xi. Now, what are some key observation points that we should be on the lookout for here?
I'll be watching whom Stephen Biegun meets very closely. If he does go to the DMZ as rumored, and if he meets someone from the North Korean side, that could indicate there's some preparations toward restarting negotiations and maybe even a third Kim-Trump summit. You know, I heard Biegun speak in Washington last week saying the door is open. He's sounding almost a little desperate, like Abe is, for any kind of meeting with North Korea. As far as Xi and Trump, will only know what they say. I think Xi will tell Trump what he wants Trump to know from what he heard from Kim. And then also they'll obviously discuss the trade war. But for once in my life, I'm going to associate myself with the remarks of Chinese Foreign Minister spokesman Lu Kang and say I don't think Xi's going to relate the two. I think Xi can walk and chew gum at the same time, and that whatever happens on North Korea is much more important than the trade conflict. So I think security trumps economics, pun intended, and Xi's going to keep it that way.
All right. So, like you said, Mr. Trump will travel to Seoul as soon as the G20 wraps up this Saturday. Now, although South Korea's presidential Blue House has denied confirmation, some experts have been suggesting, like yourself, Trump might be arranging a meeting with Kim at the border between North and South Korea. How likely is this scenario in your view, and what could come out of this meeting if it turns out to be true?
I'd say it's not impossible, and I'd hate to be the advance team that has to deal with the logistics for it, because that kind of meeting on such short notice at such a tense area will be a coordination nightmare. But knowing Trump, we can't rule it out. I think the optics would if Trump wants to visit the DMZ on his own, that's fine. But I think the optics would be very bad if he met Kim there, because North Korean propaganda says the DMZ is where we begged North Korea for peace after we invaded them and they beat us back. So to meet him there would just bring back the whole armistice thing, and I just think that's bad optics. Who knows what they'll discuss, but I would be nervous. I would think that Trump may climb down from his recently strong position of full North Korea denuclearization, may offer some kind of partial sanctions relief for partial denuclearization. I think we should actually be toughening the sanctions, not weakening. And, just like he did in Singapore, I'm afraid he could again suspend or cancel U.S.-South Korean military exercises and talk them down. So Trump's always a wild card. You never know what's going to happen. All I can say, it's going to be a very exciting week.
Absolutely. And not only is Trump the wild card, but Kim Jong-un as well, we know. So we'll have to wait and see what happens amongst the two. Sean King, a VP at Park Strategies and one of our go-to Asian affairs experts. Many thanks as always for your insights today.
Thank you.